How to do a surrender in Fintegrate. I'm going to select an existing case where the risk analysis has been completed. The client has completed the questionnaire, capacity for loss, or experiences questions, whether you use eValue or FinaMetrica. I've created an existing policy with Aegon, a GIA worth 20k. The policy analysis will allow you to do exactly that, analyze that policy in terms of risk, charges, and performance. But what we're looking at today is the recommendation page where we're going to select a surrender as the action for that GIA. What I'd like to explain before carrying on with the full surrender is the partial surrender. If, let's say, we are surrendering 10k out of the 20, we must select a destination policy for the 10k that is left. So if you do the full amount, obviously the 10k left will go into that GIA, but you could absolutely select a partial surrender where we are investing the new money partially in multiple policies, in multiple investments. So that's what I could be doing here, for example, and we try to specify it in here to make sure that you understand how to use the tool here going forward. But what I will do here is a full surrender. So the 20k from that GIA will be fully gone. And what I'll be doing instead is contributing this policy into, let's say, an ISA. So as a lump sum and personal money. Now that I have contributed this money into the ISA, that's going to be very clear on the report that we have surrendered that GIA and we've created a brand new ISA, opened a new ISA for this client. And now one of the most important things to do here is to specify how we're going to invest this money for the ISA going forward. So now in this scenario, I'll be able to load my CIP as well as any fund or NPS in our directory, which you can do here through the search options here. And what we do with eValue and FinaMetrica, we are able to do the risk mapping. If, let's say, you are a 6 out of 10 investing for less than 20 years, you are able to select the portfolio or the fund that might be suitable for this client. What I could do is potentially some blending with EV. So we could say, well, we could move with Charles Stanley. You can change the portfolio management charge if you enjoy your discount, for example. And what I'll do is say, well, this is the investment going forward, and I'm going to save and close this selection. Now you can see that little green tick, the investment has been selected. And what I need to do now is select the provider. By clicking on Evaluate, we're going to look at all the platforms that you have set up in your CIP. And in my example, I can see that Fundment has been selected automatically as being the most cost efficient. But you could always override this selection with other platforms, as well as including a discount, and add any existing platform holdings that you're not analyzing specifically for this case, but for us to calculate the charges accordingly. You can also add contributions and withdrawals within this case or any policy that you're looking at. And now what we're looking at is a comparison of the existing versus recommended going forward for risk, the charges, the performance going forward. So in this scenario, the recommended is doing a little bit less than the former existing, but we wanted to change the ISA as a policy type. And going forward, we can see our scatter chart as well, where we are potentially taking a little bit more risk. And then we are able to see the split between equities and fixed income and along sectors, country and regional breakdown. The last step for you is to add your advisory charges. So for example, I could say I add an ongoing advisor charge. You could add an initial charge as well in this case. And the last thing for you to add once you have completed this page, giving you the aggregated cost and charges and all the overviews in pounds and pennies, is for you to simply download the report from our summary page. And as usual with Fintegrate reports, you have an option to either print everything or pick and choose the pages you'd like to have as a Word or PDF document. So I'll simply click on PDF for now. And I can now see my report, which would be fully branded. You can change the cover picture, the colors, and that's everything we've covered together, where we're specifying now to the client that what we're doing is a surrender in this scenario and moving the money to an ISA, which will be a blend of Charles Stanley portfolios, for example, and we are comparing them side by side going forward on the report, as well as specifying our charges going forward.